Quick question. Are your shoulders tense? Is your jaw tight? Yep. Relax everything up real quickly for me. Take a deep breath. And today we are talking about it's okay to not feel okay. You might be watching this video because you don't feel good, right? Like everything's feeling out of place. You don't really feel okay, but you're struggling with invalidating your own emotions about not feeling okay. And so I was really feeling this recently, and because I've had some of my own personal experiences of just feeling like shit, like everything was out of place, or I was just overwhelmed. I was nervous about things. Like everything just felt too much and too big all at once. So hi, my name is Isabella, your host of the I've Got You podcast. In today's episode, we are talking about the fact that it's okay to not feel okay. And I really think that some people need to hear this message. And I know a lot of people will watch my podcast episodes, and there's been a lot of like upbeat podcast episodes about like, here's what you do with this, like, here's what you do to become the best version of yourself. And there's a lot of positive, upbeat topics that I think, are great, but sometimes we need to hear an episode that makes us feel like we're not alone and crazy when we just don't feel good, right? Like when we feel like shit and there's really like nothing else to it. The fact that we just feel like ass and we feel alone in the fact that we feel awful. And I just want to talk about that a little bit more. So I literally was like, you know what? I'm going to set up my camera. I'm going to grab the mic and we're just going to talk about this stuff because you may be heading home from work right now. You may be getting ready for bed, or you may want to even save this when you're going to bed. But I want to talk about how your feelings are valid and how we're going to get through these moments, and just little reminders that I've given myself when I've had really bad moments and days that have helped me progress and push through. And another quick disclaimer, I do not know your exact situation and what you're going through. My goal is just to try and make at least some of my viewers feel like they're not alone in this. I know I cannot understand fully what everyone is going through, so please take what works and resonates for you and leave what doesn't. And also, I am going to be leaving a hotline here that I think everyone should have access to, because again, there's many people who are struggling severely, and I understand that this stuff is no joke. So please utilize these resources. It is okay to get help. I encourage you to get help. I have gotten help before, so just keep that in mind. And then now let's get into the rest of the video. This is just a good space for us to feel completely honest, feel our feelings fully, and just find an avenue of reminding ourselves of we're gonna be okay. So as I'm pulling up my notes here, because I wrote down a bunch last night about this exact topic, I would greatly appreciate it if you can give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you guys like content like this. And if you guys are listening on Spotify, please leave a 5-star review. I would greatly appreciate that so much. Now let's get into this entire fiasco of feelings. So with the whole idea of it's okay to feel okay, a lot of us are struggling with the fact that we don't feel it's all right to feel like shit. I think especially with hustle culture and social media, we see so many like perfect reels of life going good for everyone. And even like I acknowledge that with my podcast of sometimes we have more upbeat topics. And while that's so great and valid, there's also that other flip side of where sometimes we just don't feel good. And that's okay to acknowledge too. With all this content that we're consuming and so much around, and we see so much positivity on social media of everyone having a great opportunity and great lives, and not feeling like they don't look depressed and all this kind of stuff. Like sometimes like our brains register of I'm alone in the fact that I feel miserable and bad, and then that kind of can lead into this over perfection mentality where we beat ourselves up for the fact that we don't feel okay. And I've caught myself doing this so many times. And again, even this is why I want to say this, because even as someone who hosts a podcast that wants to tell people and let them know that I have got you, right? With whatever topic we cover, I've got you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell you something that I know, or if anything, I'm going to relate to you. I am going to mess up, and I may even forget my own advice sometimes because we're human beings, right? Like it just happens. And I go through really, really bad days and really bad moments. And that's also why I want to mention this, is because I don't ever want my viewers to watch my content and think that everything is just always perfect and a phenomenal, flawless Instagram reel or TikTok. That's not reality. And I want people to not feel alone when they're watching my content. And for example, I've actually been really going through it with the idea of like beating myself up over not feeling okay. Like, and I'm going to rattle off a few things just to kind of tell you what I've been feeling. So I have always struggled with anxiety and depression, and my anxiety has really, really gotten a hold of me recently. And it's just this battle that sometimes happens. The best way I can describe it is waves. Like there's some times where the ocean's really good. It's, a little bit bumpy, but it's part of life, right? And then there's some times where the waves pull back from the shore and all of a sudden you're like, holy fuck, it's a tsunami of misery. Like I'm anxious about everything. And then my thoughts like manifest into an even bigger wave. And then things get even worse. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared about this and scared about this thing from 5 years from now. And I'm scared about this, even though it's not a problem right now, but like I need to think about it because I don't want to forget it. And everything just manifests bigger. My anxiety will kind of get like the best of me. And especially with me moving here soon, this might sound silly for some, but I'm going to say, because I don't give a fuck. Like I am 25 years old, finally moving away from my family actually. And I'm going to be like a few hours away from them. Okay. But I'm scared. Like I'm honest. I'm going to be so real with you. I'm totally scared of it because it's new. I'm not going to be near like a bunch of people that I just know. I know a few people, but regardless, you know what I mean? It's scary. I don't have a roommate. Like I am by myself in this. It's intimidating and it's freaky. And then even recently I have kind of been thinking about future when it comes to career, right? Like I've thought about things when it comes to, I'm interested in going to law school, and I have had to like battle the things of like, no, I am capable. It's a matter of if I want to do that or not. And then I would think about like my future with my career and content of like, who am I? What am I supposed to be? And then hitting 25, I've had this realization of, oh my God, like 25, 30 is going to come up in 5 years. That's when I wanted to start having kids. Holy shit. Maybe I'd push that out. Like all these emotions, or just feeling depressed. There have been times where I felt so depressed and just awful. And it's like, I couldn't get myself out. Everything just felt so shitty. Just fucking miserable. And then just, the thoughts about relationships and dating. It's one thing after another. I just felt like everything was too much. And another thing, like recently, I won't get into too much specifics, and I don't know if I ever will, but I had a new diagnosis, going to a doctor's appointment, unfortunately, and that scared the fuck out of me. And I have to do more testing and more appointments, which is really unfortunate. And it's also really disheartening when you're someone who's gone to like all of your life, you've always known an emergency room, or, going to doctor's appointments and things like that, because something's always wrong with you. And like this past year, I had not gone to a doctor's appointment besides like a yearly checkup. And then finally now all of a sudden something's wrong with me again. And I'm like, fuck, it's just a lot of things hit me all at once. And I just felt so fucking shitty. Oh yeah, by the way, I also had to unfortunately cut off a friend. Really fucking awful. I hate, like it sucks. It sucks Satan's asshole. It's not fun. And then it kind of impacted my work with how I was feeling and how I was just acting, and my lack of motivation, or just feeling really tired and anxious and sad, and not feeling like I was like joyous and happy enough to be on camera. And I was beating myself up because I was like, my God, like pull your head out of your ass, Bill. What's wrong with you? And I had to kind of take a second back and go like, I'm going through and feeling a lot of things right now, and a lot of things are scary, and it would be abnormal and weird if I didn't feel this way. And so one of the things I want to say getting into this whole topic is you're not weird or wrong for feeling anxious and bad and not okay with what's happening in your life right now. It would be weird if you didn't have a normal reaction to the shit that you're experiencing. The more that I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, wait a minute. It is, and I talked about this in a previous episode. It's inevitable that I'm going to have something bad happen. It's just, it's really unfortunate, but it's part of life, right? Like you're going to have a flat tire at some point. You may get a cold. You may have a breakup, a bad relationship, a friendship break. Like things are just going to happen. And with everything going on in the world, it would be weird if I wasn't reacting this way. And it would be weird if you weren't reacting this way. So I need you to know that you're not alone. And I feel like we do feel alone because there's so much stuff online that is so like curated and perfect and oh my God, success. That's why I want to talk about this, because you're not alone. And I don't want you to think that you are, or that you're the only one that's feeling like down in the dumps or shitty or struggling with depression and anxiety. Bitch, me fucking too. Okay. And actually comment down below, like if you're wanting to share, by the way, like I would love to hear. Okay. If you would like to share what you're feeling like shit about, or if you're feeling like shit, you can comment. Even if you want to comment an emoji, even if you want to just say, I'm not feeling okay right now, and that's okay. Like even say it with me right now. As you're listening to this, I want you, if you're in the car, take the hands off the wheel. I'm kidding. But if you're in the car, if you're taking a walk, if you're having a little bit of a mental breakdown, if you're anxious, whatever it is, if you're ready to go to bed, I need you to right now repeat after me. I'm not okay, and that's okay. All right. Yep. I am not okay. And that is okay. We have to get comfortable with the fact that this is a part of life. If we had everything perfect, like that is just removing every aspect of being human. Nothing can always go perfect. Nothing can always go well. So you have to expect that there's going to be highs and lows with life, but it doesn't change the fact that it sucks, right? Like it doesn't change the fact that this shit just fucking hurts and it eats you up. And especially if you're a perfectionist like me, you're striving to not have those moments. And that's why it kind of bothers you, because you're like, I should be put together. I should have all this stuff. Like, I should be fine. Why am I so sad? Why am I so depressed? Not being okay really triggers that part of failure, like feeling like you're not good enough. And it's really, really hard to combat that, especially when you're already feeling like shit. And when those feelings creep in, it's so, oh my God, when you're already feeling like shit, it's really, really hard to remind yourself of like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. It's fine, you know? But I need you to know you're not by yourself in this. And then it's okay to not feel okay. If we think about how much is going on in our world right now, you have every right to feel overwhelmed and anxious and sad and pissed off. You should be letting your emotions out fully, because if we really think about how much that a lot of us are going through, maybe in our everyday lives, certain things with our mental health, even finances, friends, relationships, marriages, whatever that is, there's a lot that's going on behind closed doors. Not everyone gets to see. If all these things are happening to you, then of course the chain reaction of you feeling like shit is gonna happen. And I have to honestly be like, well, I gotta validate my feelings and emotions first. And that's what you need to be doing. And I wanna say a couple of things just to remind you, and really, really pay attention to this part, okay? Lock in for me. I'm touching your hand. I'm holding your hand, my love. First of all, you are not behind. I think some people are feeling not okay because they feel like they're behind in life, or I'm not at this position. I don't have this in a savings account. I'm not doing this in school. Like, oh my God, I don't have this marriage. I don't have these kids. Like, and I've totally caught myself doing the same thing, but you are not behind, because I was just feeling that of like, oh my God, fuck, like I'm 25, I'm getting close to 30. Like, oh no, I'm not behind. I'm not behind. You are not behind. You are not behind, because your timeline is your timeline. You do not need to rush anything. And just because somebody else is going through something or experiencing something faster than you does not dictate that your timeline is never going to happen for you, or that it's changing and impacting yours. Just because someone else is experiencing something positive does not mean that your time is not going to come. You are going to get to where you need to be in whatever timeline that is meant for you. So you are not behind. Just enjoy the journey and don't put so much pressure on keeping up with everyone else, because not everyone else has had the same exact experiences as you. And another thing is, it's okay to be exhausted. With how much is going on with our world, even if y'all are in the US and political climate that we got going on right now, it's dog shit. Oh my God, it's so draining. It's so sad. It's exhausting, right? Even with like careers and having to keep up with everything. And if you have children and trying to keep up with the finance, like it's a lot. You have every right to be exhausted and upset about that. I don't blame you. I don't. And after a certain point, a human being can only handle so much. You are right in not feeling okay. You're burnt out. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Your body is just tired, because you don't have to be physically exhausted to be exhausted. You can mentally have your brain running at 1,000,000 miles an hour and be tired. Don't be surprised why your brain's tired if you're always on and taking care of something and doing a lot. So just validate yourself in the fact that it's okay for you to feel tired. And it doesn't mean that you're broken. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough, or something's bad, or you're a failure, or you're getting behind. No, it just means that your body is having a natural reaction to all the things that are happening in your life right now. And we feel this way because some of us are processing things like grief. Some of us are seeing people make crazy big wins on social media. We're processing being burnt out. Some of us have really bad mental health struggles, anxiety, depression, you name it. Even like hormonal changes, seasonal dips with our mental health, keeping everything together and being like the go-to person for everyone's problems, even including your own. Like, no wonder you're tired, baby. No wonder you're tired. My whole first part of this video was I wanted you to feel validated and not crazy, because that's one of the things we struggle with. It's like, it's hard to validate our own emotions. We're really, really good at validating other people's and being like, no, you're good, girlfriend. You're good. You're not doing too much. But when it comes to us, it's like a very different story. And we have these different expectations of ourselves that are almost like not human or realistic at all. So that's why I'm trying to step in and say, no, you're okay. You're doing good. You're normal. I promise. Now, with all these shitty emotions, one thing I really want to talk about is processing them and letting them out. Because some of us are really, really putting up a wall in between us and feeling our emotions fully. And I talked about this in a different episode, where sometimes we will find a different coping mechanism of something that's not exactly healthy for us because we don't want to feel it. Some of us have been taught to do this thing where it's like, if I don't feel it or acknowledge it, I'm toughing it out and I'm being strong. Bullshit. Strength is not found in hiding your emotions and ignoring them. Strength is found in experiencing those emotions and processing them so you can push through. And that's what I want you guys to be doing right now. How are we going to process these emotions? And I'm just going to tell you like some coping mechanisms and things that I've been doing to help myself with like tension or anxiety or like giving myself a little bit of a break. Some of us are like say, oh my God, okay, I can't take a break right now. And I understand. I'm not talking about like an all day break or anything. I'm talking about replacing the time that you maybe spend on your phone or something by taking a mini mental break. So instead of, doom scrolling and hopping onto TikTok right now, if you want to pause this video, or even if you want to just do it right after, I am not kidding. I love doing this where if I was like going to go to my unhealthy habit of let me go doom scroll, I will go lay down right now. Like I'm not kidding. Lay down, head back in the pillow, face to ceiling, and I will just play some white noise in the background. I'll look it up on my phone or something. And I will just take some really deep inhales, really deep exhales, and I'll just start doing breathing exercises. Like one of my favorites is when I inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. And I really just keep doing that over and over again. And another like additional thing I'll do to kind of help process is I will either listen to a guided meditation that is like really quick, but helps me kind of take a breather and like stay in my own mind and not put my eyes into my phone or something else. Or I will go out of my way to be like, okay, what is wrong? Like I will try and process it myself of laying there in silence or with the white noise in the background, a high frequency audio, whatever you want, and just be like, why am I feeling this way? What's going on? And I just sit in it and I actually feel it fully of like trying to address and point out and find what am I experiencing? What am I feeling? Where is it coming from? And then I have to fall into, my fun little pattern of what's the validity of these feelings? Are they valid? Are they not, right? Like, are some of them coming from overthinking or are some of them coming from like a legit experience that I'm having right now? And I have to work on differentiating the two. And then of course, my ye old saying is, what can I do right now about it? If I can't do it right now, or if I can't fix everything, what can I do to make myself feel like 1% better? And that's why I love doing the meditation or the relaxing, because it at least makes me feel 1% better. And you don't have to do it for like 30 minutes or anything, but you can definitely have just a little moment to yourself just to take a breather. Because some of us are just going so fast and you're going like so fast, you're focused on work. It's like boom, 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 one thing after another. Sometimes we got to like put ourselves in timeout. And that might sound really silly, but seriously, putting ourselves in timeout and saying, all right, hold on, let's take a breather, 5-minute timeout on the clock, baby. And whenever we're feeling like shit, some of us will do very numbing activities, or we'll doom scroll. We will like completely just zone out. Some of us will maybe hang out with friends that are not so good. And I really, really do want to redirect you to a couple other things, because I am at fault for this too. I had a very bad thing of using like doom scrolling as like a pacifier to me feeling anxious and like shit. And I'm really trying to stop doing that, or doing other unhealthy coping mechanisms. I would really love to recommend you to go watch my 50 plus hobbies video. I actually made that about like things to do instead of doom scrolling. And I really recommend, when you feel like shit, find something that brings you joy and try to like refocus on that, because at least it's not destructive and at least it's not like a mind-numbingly fucking awful activity. Now, that's not going to fix anything, right? That's not going to fix the fact that you're not okay. And I'm not trying to say that you have to fix it. What I'm saying is it'll pass, but what are we going to do right now to kind of help us with like coping when we feel like shit? Because sometimes that vicious cycle, and it's like that hamster wheel of feeling miserable, really kicks our ass. And sometimes we need a little bit of a mental break, because some of us are feeling really overwhelmed up here. I'm speaking from personal experience. Sometimes I will feel so overwhelmed and anxious and shitty, and my brain doesn't get a break, and I'm always focused on the negative thing that's going on, and I'm so just anxious and uncomfortable and sad, and I have to have a little bit of something to give my brain like a 5-second nap. And whether that's like painting, drawing, journaling, taking a walk outside, even if it's maybe watching a comfort show and like laughing at that really shitty rom-com, reaching out to a friend, maybe doing a little bit of a cleanup in your room, finding something else to do that's a redirection from the negative feelings is definitely good. And again, like I said, this is not going to fix it. It's not going to make everything better, but giving your brain a little bit of a break has always helped me. And another thing I want to say is it's okay to cry and let it out, because that is very, very therapeutic. You need to cry it out sometimes. Like I'm going to tell you right now, oh my God, last week I had to have the biggest cry ever because I just felt so shitty. And this might sound so dramatic, but I'm not kidding. I grabbed my phone. I put my sweet fur baby in her crate and I said, I will be back in 15. Okay. And I went and I blasted music, sad, Billie Eilish shit. And I got glasses on my face because I drive in a fishbowl. So I'm like, oh my God, someone's totally going to see this. And I'm just like sobbing and I'm just letting it all out because like I just felt so overwhelmed and like everything felt so big and all at once. And I'm like, what do I do? And I kind of had to practice my freak out then figure it out because I need to let it out first. Hiding it and saying, no, I'm fine and toughing it out is not going to make it better. So let it out, dude. If you got to scream in a pillow, do it. If you got to cry on a drive or listen to sad music, let it all out because I'm telling you, if you've had a good cry, you know the feeling. You feel better after you let that shit out. So you got to let it out. And if you're not someone who just is able to cry or does a lot, then you got to at least find something that's a better positive coping mechanism. And those suggestions that I gave you guys, I think are really good. I want to give you guys a few reminders and affirmations and things with this whole episode. I'm trying to encourage you guys to let go of the shame of not feeling great and put together all the time because everyone around you could be going through some stuff right now that you have literally no idea about. So I don't want you to feel shameful because there's nothing to feel ashamed of. You're not wrong. You're not bad or weak by having an off day or moment. And it's not a bad life. It's just a bad day, week, month, or moment in time. And way that I've been able to kind of rationalize that thought is everything's temporary. And I know that's a really scary thing to say, but hear me out on this, okay? Everything is temporary in the sense of you could have something really good in your life, but then it could get better. So that, the original feeling you may have right now about something good in your life is temporary because something could get better or improve. Or on the flip side, if something is feeling like shit, you're having you're struggling, this is a temporary feeling and you're going to escape it. This bad thing is temporary and you're going to get out of it. I have been able to prove this to myself in the way of thinking that every time I had a really bad moment, I was so sad after a breakup, I was going through it, I was really anxious, I wasn't feeling great. I am right now having to consciously think and remember about those things because they don't exist in my life anymore. Every time it always passes. So think about all the things that you've experienced in life and all the things you've overcome, right? There's so much that so many people don't have any idea about and you got through it. And now you're like, oh yeah, I did go through these things. Like I did go through a lot and you just had to go out of your way to consciously remember and think about it because it passed, right? You got through it. So who's to say that what you're going through right now isn't going to pass and you aren't going to be okay? You are going to be okay. You are because you've survived everything up until this point. I haven't come this far just to come this far is a wonderful saying that I live by. You have got this. Feel your emotions fully and get excited for the fact that this stuff is temporary. You are going to get through whatever it is you're going through. And you've survived 100% of your worst day. So you are doing far better than what you think you're doing. And I know some people will downplay their capacity and their resilience and if they're good enough because when they feel bad, everything feels bad. And it's really hard to give yourself any verbal reassurance or any mental reassurance for that matter. We will live and pursue through all of the shittiness, all of the bad. If you haven't been told this at all or yet, I am so proud of you. You are so strong. You are very brave. You are very capable of getting through everything. You have every right to feel like shit right now. You have every right to let it out in a healthy way. And you are going to be okay. You and I, we're going to be good. We are going to be fine. And we have got this. So I need you to take a breather, take a big, deep inhale. All to the top. Hold it for a second. And then let it out. You have got this. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'm very, very thankful that you are here clicking and watching on this video. And whatever you're going through, you are more than capable of plowing through. And then you know what? 6 months down the road, you're not even going to remember this moment unless it pops up randomly or you go out of your way to think about it because you too, just like you did the past, will overcome this. And just remember, you are allowed to feel deeply. This moment is not forever. You are growing and learning even with this negative experience. And if you want to have a reminder again, save this episode and come back to it when you need to watch it. And y'all, I do the same shit with my podcast all the time. There was one time I was having a mental breakdown and I watched one of my episodes. I was like, you're right, Bella. Damn. So if I have to do it, you can do it. So save this episode and save it when you need to come back and rewatch it, when you need a little bit of a reminder that you're doing just fine. So that was it for today's podcast episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. If you guys want to share anything about what you're feeling, whether you just want to say that or give details, go for it. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys in the next episode. And don't forget, I've got you. Bye.